Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today I'm doing March Mystery Madness, and today I am combining two of the prompts. So I am combining place and space. So I had a hard time looking for space and I didn't have any science fiction type things. So I went with a space place, like a room type thing. So here are my 10 books that I'm using for place and space. Yeah, I was very confused. So when I was picking out my books, I actually found words on the book that say place in the front. So I have 4 books with place and 6 books that are in space, like rooms and stuff. I'll share which one. Okay, so let's start with place. I have The Crossing Places by Ellie Griffiths, and this is yeah, I have no idea. It says a Ruth Galloway mystery, so it could be part of a series. I'm not sure. I just have it in my stash and we'll see. It says Galloway is in every woman, smart, successful, and a little bit unsure of herself. A remarkable debut. The Crossing Places will keep you up late and perhaps haunt your dreams. So it is a first of a book. So that was pretty cool. Forensic archaeologist Dr. Ruth Galloway is in her late 30s. She lives happily alone with her 2 cats in a bleak, remote area near Norfolk, land that was sacred to its Iron Age inhabitants. Not quite earth, not quite sea, but her routine days of digging up bones and other ancient objects are harshly upended when a child's bones are found on a desolate beach. Detective Chief Inspector Nelson calls Galloway for help, and believing they are the remains of Lucy Downey, a little girl who went missing a decade ago, and whose abductor continues to taunt him with bizarre letters containing references to ritual sacrifice. Yeah, this seems brutal. It is the same. Is it the same killer or a copyright murderer linked in some way to the site near Ruth's remote home? So that's that one. Okay, the next one that has place in the title, it's called The Hidden Place, and this is by David Bell, author of Cemetery Girl, which I never read. Yeah, a shallow grave holds the deepest secrets. So sometimes it's easier to believe a lie. 25 years ago, the disappearance of a 4-year-old Justin rocked the small town of Dove Point, Ohio. After his body was found in a shallow grave in the woods 2 months later, the repercussions were felt for years. Janet has been haunted by the murder since the day she lost sight of her brother in the park. Now, with the 25th anniversary of Justin's death looming, a detective and a newspaper reporter have started to ask questions, opening old wounds and raising new suspicions. Could the man convicted of the murder, who spent more than 2 decades in prison, really be innocent? Janet's childhood friend and high school crush, who was in the park with her that day, has returned to Dove Point, where he is wrestling with his own conflicted memories of the events. And a strange man appears at Janet's door in the middle of the night, claiming to know the truth. Soon, years of deceit will be slept away, and the truth about what happened to Janet's brother will be revealed, and the answers that Janet has sought may be found much closer to home than she ever could have imagined. So that's that one. The next one that has place in the title is The Forgetting Place, and this is by John Burley. So yeah, It's a deep dive into the darkest recesses of the human psyche. Surprises wait at every turn. So that's that one. Let's see. Manacre State Hospital is a curse, a refuge, a prison, a necessity, a nightmare, a salvation. When Dr. Shields arrived at the correctional psychiatric facility 5 years ago, she was warned that many of its patients committed by Maryland's judicial system for perpetrating heinous crimes would never leave. But what happens when a place like Manacre is corrupted, when it becomes a tool to silence the innocent, conceal injustice, contain secrets? Why is that? The newest patient does not seem to belong there, and the hospital administrator has fallen silent, and that Lisa is being watched by two men with seemingly lethal intent. The answers are closer than she realizes and could cost her everything she holds dear. So that's that one. The next one that has place in the title, the last one that has place in the title, is called No Place Like Home. And I believe this was given to me by my grandmother. I think it is a large print. Yep, it's large print. This is Mary Higgins Clark. I have read her before and enjoyed her books. But because it's so fat, it's because it's large print that was given to me by my grandmother. It's an old book. It has Mary Higgins Clark on the back of it. So, yeah, I don't even know. I love when it's large print. I could see. Anyway, okay. Like no other writer, Mary Higgins Clark knows how to turn fear into great entertainment. She is a queen of suspense, does it again in the riveting tale about a young woman's escapable past. While desperately trying to protect her mother from her abusive stepfather, 10-year-old Lisa shoots and kills her. Although the juvenile court rules it an accident, Lisa's stepfather has the tabloids turn her into a murderess. 25 years and 2 marriages later, with her identity changed, Lisa, now known as Celia, has left her past behind. That is, until her husband presents her with a gift, the house of her childhood tragedy. Before long, Celia is recognized as Lisa, and when other violent deaths occur, once again branded a killer. So yeah, this sounds interesting, and I love that I can see it. I can actually probably see it without my glasses. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I think my grandmother read it. So yep, that's like a gift. Anyway, okay, so I have 6 more books that I am classifying as place or space. So here we go. I have Stranger in the House, and this is by Gloria Murphy. And I figured house was a place, what is also a space. So that's why I picked that one out. It says, don't talk to strangers. It was a rule Lauren had drilled into her daughter, Chelsea. But on a seductive spring day at the county fair, it was a rule Lauren herself found easy to break. And what began as an irresistible attraction to Jonathan rapidly became a deep, meaningful bond. It was more than Jonathan's lean, good looks. There was something heart-trendingly sad in his dark eyes, probably the memory of his murdered first wife. And then there was Emily, Jonathan's young daughter, who had witnessed the crime and was so traumatized that even hospitalization could not quiet her terror. Now Emily has returned home filled with unrepressed rage. Is she acting out the secret behind her mother's death, Or is she showing natural jealousy toward Lauren and Chelsea? Lauren wants to understand, and she will if she lives. So that's that one. The next one is a very popular book. I don't know if it's classified as a classic, but I know I've heard this book before, and I know there's a movie out on this. So it's Shelter Island. This is by Dennis Lehan. And yeah, startlingly original, a deft, defenseful thriller. So yeah, this is a very popular book. I have not read it. I don't really know anything about it. It takes place in 1954. A U.S. Marshal Teddy and his new partner Chuck come to Shelter Island, home of Cliff Hospital, from the criminally insane, to investigate an unexplained disappearance. Multiple murderous Rachel is loose somewhere on this barren island, despite having been kept under constant surveillance in a locked, guarded cell. As a killer hurricane bears relentlessly down on the island, hints of radical experimentation and covert government machines add darker, more and sinister shades to an already bizarre case, because nothing at Ashcliff Hospital is remotely what it seems. So yeah, this is very popular. I'm sure many of you read it, but I have not read it yet. So that's that. Okay, the next one I have is The Killer Next Door. Yeah, so I figured next door is a place. It's also a space. So yeah, so I picked this one out, and I don't know what it's about, so we're going to read the back. Just how well do you know your neighbors? Everyone who lives at 23 Grove has a secret. If they didn't, they wouldn't be renting rooms in dodgy South London building for cash. No credit check, no lease. The bathrooms are shared. There's mold in the hallway. The landlord is a creep, and it's the kind of place you end up when you're on the run out of other options. The 6 residents mostly keep to themselves, but one unbearably hot summer night, a terrible accident pushes them together. And what they don't know is that one of them is a killer. He's already chosen his next victim, and he'll do anything to protect his secret. So yeah, that seems interesting and fun to read. So that's that one. The next one is a place as well, and I got Taking the Titanic, and this is by Scott Slavin. It's a James Patterson short story. I love the reading of the Titanic and the movie, so I picked this one up. So yeah, so that's a really short book too, and we'll see if I get that one read. The next one is The Empty Room, and this is by Lauren B. Davis. Yeah, so let's see what this one's about. A heart-rending portrait of addiction, raw and disturbing, yet we keep reading, spurred by the clarity of the writing and intensity of the description. A great psychological portrait of a woman under the influence. This one I might not like because she sounds like she's on drugs or drinking. I don't really like those type of books, but we'll see. Davis brilliantly takes alcoholism, a masterful portrayal of an addiction. Yeah, I don't really like that plot twist. But anyway, Colleen wakes up sick and bruised with no clear memory of the night before. It's Monday morning, and she's shocked to see the near empty vodka bottle on her kitchen counter. This is the day Colleen's demons come for her. A very bad day spirals into night as a series of flashbacks take the reader through Colleen's past. Moments of friendship and loss, fragments of peace and possibility. The single constant Is the bottle always close by? Is this unforgivable work acclaimed novelist Lauren B. Davis has created as searing, raw, powerful, and portrayal of the chaos and pain of the alcoholism as we have encountered in fiction, told with compassion, insight, and an irresistible gallows humor. So that's that one. I don't know if I'm gonna like it because I really don't like reading alcoholism, but that's a book that I have in my stash, so we'll see. And the last book that I have as a place or a space is Apartment 16, and I believe Gabby reads suggested to read this one, but I'm not quite sure. I think it was her. It was definitely a booktuber who recommended me to read this one, and I wound up picking it up. So let's see what the back says. I even have a bookmark, and I might have even started it. See that? Okay. Some doors are better left closed. In Barrington House, an upmarket block in London, there is an empty apartment. No one goes in, no one comes out. And it has been that way for 50 years. Until the night watchman hears a disturbance after midnight and investigates. What he experiences is enough to change his life forever. A young American woman, April, arrives at Barrington House. She's been left an apartment by her mysterious great aunt Lillian, who died in strange circumstances. Rumors claim Lillian was mad, but her diary suggests she was implemented in a horrific and inexplainable event decades ago. Determined to learn something of her eccentric relative, April begins to unravel the hidden story of Barrington House. She discovers that a transforming evil force still inhabits the building, and that the doorway to April's apartment 16 is a gateway to something together more terrifying. So yeah, this seems creepy and suspenseful. So this is called Apartment 16. There might be ghosts involved. I don't know, but it seems creepy. So those are the books that I have for space and place. If you have read any of these or suggest that I read one of them to move them up my TBR, that would be very helpful. Comment below, and I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.